Exciting.
I've got a face cam that I'm not planning on using that much, but there it is. Hey, Hawkboss is in. We got a power mod for some other channels in the chat. Love that. No, I'm not real. You don't have to be real to have a camera. Okay, our mods are now fighting. Love that. Okay, the bracket officially 2022 1v1 Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition bracket is right here. You may have seen it already. I kind of have just been like posting links and like just leaking it all over the place, but there it is. We got a few. We got an uneven number. It doesn't easily divide into 8 or whatever you gotta do. So yeah, we got some first round games. We got quite a few buys for those higher seeds. The seeds are numbered there on the left side of the player name, and you know, if you're playing, you already know this because you already have been you've already been pinged incessantly by me to try to get these games running. Wolf of the North, who are you?
I am the one currently in the chat with Tyler right now.
I think that's all Elg the Villain needs. That's all the explanation.
That's all he needs to know.
Okay, so I see somebody in here saying you're going to get eliminated immediately. Now, you are playing against Edgielum, a certified gamer. However, okay, and Elg the Villain as well.
Oof.
Yeah, you, I believe, are up against Wolf of the North. Yes, I see the interest now. I understand. Now, something we need to keep in mind here is we've added, you know, having Age of Empires 4 getting added in here, having like over, what is it? How many people are here?
11 people in
19?
chat right now?
19 people in the bracket. 19.
Bracket.
That's not enough. We need to add something else to get these fellas who you know, they're not super confident that they can make it all the way to that grand final. We need a reason for these guys to play. Elgin, you submitted the sign-up form, so like I kind of thought you would understand that it's the 1v1 situation, but no pressure. Like, here's the deal. We've added in Age of Empires King of the Losers bracket. Now, I don't have these made yet because we don't know who's going to be in them, because it all depends on who loses the first 2 rounds. Now, if you lose in the first 2 rounds of this or the Age of Empires 4 tournament, you're going to get moved down there, and you get a chance to win that one and win the prize pool from that one. Anybody above the first 2 rounds, they don't get a chance to get in there at all. So you're not going to have to play against anybody who's like a certified gamer other than Edgielum. And it's just kind of a way to give you like more of a reason to get involved, you know? So this is the Age of Empires 4 bracket. We got Gunman, Squeaky G, Controversy, Sudsy Sugar is the same person as Edgielum, but we gotta respect the usernames on Xbox. And this has its own discrete King of the Losers bracket. One thing to note, which we'll go over with the prize pool section, the prize pool is the same for Age of Empires 2 and 4, and the King of the Losers have their own different level of prize, but they're the same between the 2 games as well. So, when you filled out that, contestant sign-up form, you might have voted for maps. You might not have. You might have decided not to because I made it optional. But we have we've got a limited map pool. We're not going random this year. In the past, we've just said pick out of this pool of random maps of the entire game. That can lead to some weird games, some Team Islands games in the bronze match that, you know, kind of just end up being kind of boring. Or some individual islands even. So, the next segment you may have guessed is AoE 2 maps. This is what we've got. The roster is 14 maps. We'll say later on a little bit more about this, but if you're playing Age of Empires 2 and you're the higher seed in your match, you're allowed to ban 2 of these maps, and the lower seed then picks 1 to play on. We've got Amazon Tunnel, which is just kind of a narrow, choke pointy kind of a deal. Arabia, which is the complete opposite, wide open. The aggressive standard of Age of Empires 2. We've got Arena, another closed, kind of boomy late game Kessel late game map. Black Forest is in there, of course. Yeah, I see you want that. Everybody wanted that. Got the most votes out of every map. I'm frankly surprised by that, by the way. Four Lakes, which is a bit of a tactical kind of a deal. You want to control the water on your corners. Gold Rush with the gold in the middle. Hideout, of course. Basically Arena, but with a bit of a twist and a little bit less space. You can chop through to your friend. I almost said your friend's base, but we actually don't have we don't have teams, obviously. Mega Random, which does, I believe, have the chance to spawn as Nomad. I think it's the only map in this pool that you might get Nomad on, which means that you'll have 3 villagers scattered randomly through the map, and you have to just start with that. Mongolia's kind of just hilly, cliffy, choke point. I'm a big fan, I think, of Mongolia. I can't wait to see that come through. Mountain Ridge, just a really big play on the elevation mechanics in H2. If you're higher elevation, you do more damage, and you take less damage, that kind of a situation. Mountain Ridge, Mountain Range, Mountain Ridge, I don't know, I don't know why these both are in here, but I guess people like the word mountain. Arduous, you're making it in. Love to see it. Oasis with the water in the middle, you got to chop through too, and I don't know if there might be relics in the middle too, or it might just be good fishing in there that you really want to get into. Valley is just kind of a river crossing map, and then Yucatan is kind of just water everywhere, not really choke pointy. I loaded up a few of these maps to check if they were like water and then like one crossing in the middle, because H2 sometimes can be a little bit funky. I should add the court jester emote to this. I gotta get Caleb's approval. Thanks for the follow, Roshep. I don't think I have the overlay on this screen, but love to see that. Alright, so that's H2. We probably talked a little bit too much about those maps. Here's H4, same deal. Everybody voted 7 maps. This is what we got. We're only doing 7 this time in this game because there is a much smaller map pool in general in this game. So I figured, we'll just cut it similarly. And I think this is going to be a pretty competitive set as well. Pretty colors on these AoE 4 maps. Yeah, hey, H4, they've got some quality design stuff in there. There can be complaints about the unfinished or whatever parts, but it works for me. It works for me. It works for a lot of people, I think. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes in this tournament. Maybe we'll get some converts.
Looking at these maps, I'm actually really curious to see how some of these, particularly, I think Boulder Bay would be a very interesting map to see played out because of the lake in the middle. I always find, obviously, when I think of AoE, I really don't think too much of the lakes or the water that's nearby, but anytime that there is a lake or water present in game, it can always mix up the strategies that are involved, because you have an extra source of income that's there, you have another means of transportation, you have another means of combat you have to keep in mind as you go through the game. And looking at Boulder Bay as well, I'm curious to see how that's balanced, because it looks as if the player on the left, has a smaller starting area compared to the one on the right.
Yeah, so quick thing there. By the way, Cameron, thank you for just jumping in. Do it more. I was kind of just rolling on there.
No, it's fine. I think it's good. You know more about the rules than I do. So.
I got a timeout Hawk Boss right now. Qual, because you could just do it yourself, I think, because you're a mod. And there it is. First time that I've done it. I don't. What's the? Oh, 10 minutes. Yep, there we go. Sorry, buddy, if you're still here. 600 seconds. All right. But yeah, so Boulder Bay, the icons you see on that one are actually sacred sites, which is a new mechanic in Age of Empires 4. If you capture a sacred site, you get a trickle income of gold, or if you capture them all and hold them, sort of similar to the Wonder Victory in Age 2, you have a countdown to victory.
I understand. I see.
Yeah, Cap, you're on the right track. So the players spawn in the top left and the bottom right.
I see. Okay, makes sense. That makes it more balanced. I was just curious.
Yeah, so it is interesting.
Curious. Yeah, go ahead.
Like one of the sacred sites is on that island. Like it kind of just gets ignored in a lot of games. But if you take it, you never know.
You never know. Yeah, I always do appreciate the water maps because that obviously opens up a whole new venue of combat, and I always enjoy that kind of mix up with the games.
Yeah,
makes things a bit more interesting.
Yeah, and I just want to say also, I just thought of this with the maps that, especially in Age of Empires 2, I selected out some from the survey. I just picked mixed and land maps, so we didn't get any islands or team islands or things like that because honestly, those just take way too long to play for a lot of players.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Especially at this level.
Yeah.
But I think mixed maps like that, and let me go back. Do we have any like 4 lakes on this one, or even Oasis? Maybe Mega Random, depending on what we get. I think that's going to be.
Yeah, Oasis is the only map that has the lake right in the middle. That could make things interesting, depending upon how the person wanted to play that. 4 lakes can give you another source of income, and again, it also depends on the Mega Random as well. So.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I really like that mechanic. Ancient Spires, by the way, is just a bunch of little island or like a bunch of little like lakes scattered around, and they have shorefish in them. You probably are aware that shorefish are a very powerful source of food, especially in the early game. And if you build a dock, like you basically double your villager production if you build fishing ships without having to make a secondary town center already, so so yeah, there's some very, very exciting mechanics with water there, and I really like how actually Age of Empires 4 for the anniversary update just got a like major water overhaul, and it's like just way better now, so looking forward to seeing that in action. We've got Altai, which players spawn in the top and the bottom, and there's just kind of space on the edges, and it's a very defensive choke point map. Ancient Spires is much more open. Like I said, with the water, you want to be going around picking up those shorefish. Dry Arabia, it's Dry Arabia. I think it serves its very own. It doesn't need its own introduction. Hideout is the only new map. Like I said, they've been doing some major updates to this game, and they added a bunch of new maps for the anniversary update. And Hideout is the only one that made it through the poll. This says actually in Age 2 as well, but I don't think it's in our tournament. They spawn in the little acclivities in the forest on the opposite sides. You chop through to your enemy or walk around. Hill and Dale, kind of similar to Age 2's arena, except because you spawn on like a little platform with impassable cliffs around, and there's like 3 ways through. You got to wall off. It's a little bit similar to arena, and then obviously Mega Random. You get what you get. Yeah, I mean Mega Random. It's basically a mixed map every time. It's never like islands. It just kind of adds a little spice, a little something.
I agree with that, and I think again, you'll get into this more as you go through the rules, but I do think depending upon the player that's selecting the map, if they think they might have a better chance with a random map that neither player may know about, that could even the playing field for them. So I think that enables them to, it gives them a chance to, losing my tongue here.
All good.
I think it's just it can level the playing field because again they're both going into the map fresh. They're both going in with a different perspective. They're both going in not sure what the map is going to be, where they're going to go, what they're going to do. So I definitely think that makes things interesting.
Yeah, and again, yes, it's in the map pool. If you don't like these maps, you probably don't have to play them unless you dislike more than 2. Because you can just either not pick it or ban it every game. So, you know, it's just giving you options, making the stream more interesting, ultimately.